we've been seeing the growth not just in our industry, but in the demand for this type of asset as for investors. So for us, we expect this to continue. I mean, not just in what we saw year over year growth. 23 was a record year for us. 24 was a record year and beat it by over 50%. And if you look at our guidance coming into 25, that's higher than 50 to 60%. So hard to find a small cap growth company in this kind of volatile market that performs as well as we do.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me is Abacus Global Management CEO Jay Jackson. Jay, very good to meet you. So for viewers new to the story, tell us a bit about Abacus Global Management.
Sure. Abacus was founded over 20 years ago, even though we've just been public for nearly 2 years now. And it's based upon the foundation that we educate people on their investments, specifically starting with life insurance and now our life solutions division, but with an underlying theme of data and data relating to someone's health and lifespan. A lot of people don't realize how valuable that asset is and how it can be used in a multitude of ways. First and foremost, used in understanding what the value of their life insurance policy might be. You're going to continue to pay on it. Wouldn't you like to know how long that's going to be? And then try to solve for what the net present value is. So where Abacus stands apart from any other company is that we're the origination company and the market maker ultimately of the asset that we are the asset manager for, right? So why invest in Abacus is because we control our own destiny. And now we've applied that to other segments of our business and to capture the entire life cycle of our underlying client, meaning that we now have asset management in several different asset classes. We have financial advice that we're building out. And then we use the lifespan in health and technology that we have, and we actually resell that as a technology for service to some of the largest pension funds in the world.
You recently rebranded from Abacus Life, Jay. What was the reasoning behind that name change?
Yeah, the most important piece of the name change was to capture more broadly everything that we do. A lot of people, when they hear Abacus Life, they immediately assume that we're a life insurance company and we're putting out life insurance product, when in fact the opposite is true. We're an alternative asset manager that invests in non-correlated assets, including life insurance policies, but we're an asset manager. And so we thought to better capture that, we would change the name to reflect that as Abacus Global Management. And we also own a large institutional asset manager in Luxembourg. So to capture more of the global investor presence that we have.
You're also up with your fourth quarter and full year 2024 results just last week, Jay. Quarterly revenue up 40% year over year, but full year revenue up 69%. So a really good year for the company.
This isn't a surprise for us. We have 20 consecutive years of positive net income. We've been seeing the growth not just in our industry, but in the demand for this type of asset as for investors. So for us, we expect this to continue. I mean, not just in what we saw year over year growth. 23 was a record year for us. 24 was a record year and beat it by over 50%. And if you look at our guidance coming into 25, that's higher than 50 to 60%. So hard to find a small cap growth company in this kind of volatile market that performs as well as we do.
Take us through some of the growth drivers, Jay. I mean, you did make a couple of strategic acquisitions over the year. What other growth drivers were there?
Primarily from a growth driver perspective, acquisitions are helping that in our asset management space. We'll look at how things will continue to expand into our financial advisor channel and what future acquisitions might actually look like there. And then the growth of our tech division, combining all three of those with the underlying growth in our industry. We have a very unique asset where in volatile markets, the underlying policyholders looking for liquidity and other types of assets that they're normally not. And secondly, investors are looking for less correlated assets, i.e. the asset that we ultimately originate and asset manage.
And how are you incorporating AI into your thinking as you make acquisitions and expand?
AI is a substantial tool. We receive close to 10,000 inquiries on a monthly basis. We're talking about using AI for customer service to initially qualify and help people better understand whether it's their life insurance policy or financial advice. But more broadly, where AI has been really useful for us is comprehending all of the data we have. Think about the billion scenarios in someone's lifespan. How do you possibly do that? Well, when you utilize large language models and AI to come out with and better understand more accurate outcomes related to lifespan, think about the impact that will have on all of financial planning, right? If the number one fear is running out of money in retirement, wouldn't you want to know more accurately how long you're going to be in retirement? And that's how we're using AI with that data.
Jay, you've already given us a taste of 2025. The first quarter just about finished. Tell us more about what lies ahead.
Yeah, we had a great 24. We're incredibly well positioned for 25. We have cash on our balance sheet to go to work and buy more contracts, put work together with our asset management. We think we'll see as a theme in 25 an increased interest in the asset management part of our company, not just the origination company, which has been a very pleasant surprise. And it's also very exciting when we think about what the growth is. So 25 for us, we put out an adjusted net income number that's 51 to 68% higher than 24. So as good as those numbers were in 24, we feel as confident and as strong as we do about 25.
So apart from the financial growth, Jay, what else should investors be excited about by Abacus Global Management?
Yeah, I think that when you're looking at any company to invest in, you want to know where they sit. And where Abacus sits as an origination company, a market maker, an asset manager, and a technology company, we're at the forefront of all of it. So think about it. If you can control your own destiny, that's the type of stocks that you should be looking for, the ones that are in control in a market where it feels like there's not a lot of companies in control of that, which means we control the life cycle and we control the downline. And as we start to see 25 play out, I'm certainly not here to predict the stock market in general, but I know Abacus as a company is going to, as a earnings basis, should perform very, very well.
Jay, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress. Thank you very much for the introduction today.
Thank you so much. Look forward to it again.
Jay Jackson, the CEO of Abacus Global Management.